it's Susie, and I wanted to share a couple little journals that I finished up. I actually had planned on making 4 of these, but it just didn't happen. I got sidetracked, and 2 is really all I got made. But anyway, they're kind of fun. I just had gotten these floral bags and wanted to kind of play around with them. I did use the Tim Holtz distress stain. I was kind of playing around with the distress stains and inks and things lately. It's just something I've kind of been wanting to do. And so anyway, I used these little bags, and these are bags. You can put something in them. I didn't place anything in them. I always think it's fun to place maybe what your journal's about, or the event or something that's going on. I always think that's a fun spot when you have a place to put that in. So anyway, this is kind of what I had been playing with. I have actually 2 different size bags. One's a little bit bigger than the other, as you can see. So the journals, one is just a little tad smaller than the other, but anyway, they're just fun. I kind of based them the same. I used some Sari Silk here to tie a ribbon on this one, just some little corrugated cardboard there, and just kind of was having fun with some laces. This just has some little seam binding tied on it. The images are from Pinterest. This is some antique trim there. Always love to play with the antique trim. And anyway, just didn't put anything on the back of it at all, so that's kind of what it is. But anyway, we're going to start with this one here. This one here, they'll both look like this, but I did not get this bound on the other one so that I wouldn't have to take it off. I've just used a little pin and just tied some Sari Silk around it. And I left it long enough, the Sari Silk, I kind of doubled it so that as the journal gets bigger, you would be able to kind of extend that out a little bit. So anyway, there's plenty of Sari Silk to do that. But it's just a pretty basic journal. These journals do measure 7.5. It measures 7.5 by 4 1/4. So I did use a tea filter on the front, and I just put a little piece of journaling paper that is going in it. These are those little tea filters. They're the large tea filters that I have in the shop. One of the sides is open. On the instructions to the bags, it says if you take a hot iron, it seals this edge. Now, I haven't tried it, but that's kind of what it said on the instructions. So, but I used some of that vintage computer paper. I had that gifted to me by one of the ladies over in Sophie's Note, which I was very happy to receive. I had been looking for some of that, and then she sent me some. And then I also have a Happy Meal that I want to share in the video today, and I'll do that at the end. But that's one of those seed packets there from Target. I have just placed there. I didn't really decorate it. Here's just a little collaging here. And then I had bought these stamps at a thrift store. They are actually stamped from Stamping Up. And I had used some of those throughout the journal. And that is one of them. Here's just a vintage purchase order. Receipt paper there. And I used one of the index cards that I had coffee stained there. This is an act of kindness is long remembered. I thought that was cute. And then a pink guest check. This is the flimsy guest checks here. Here's another one of those stamps from Stampin' Up! That I had bought at the thrift store. They came in a set. It had about 5 stamps in it. And I used 3 of them in here. Book page, just a piece of that computer paper with a little collage put on it. Another little, I believe I got them from Pinterest there. Some little pink rosettes. And then here's just another, that other stamp. It's a rose. And this here, I actually have it just put over the page This is one of those little classic receipts. And so what I did was I just put this over the page. Oops. And just used one of the little rusty paper clips to hold it on. And then here's another little collage here. Just did some collaging on the page. I had these gifted to me as well. And they are claim checks. And one of the ladies on Sophie's notes that sent me the computer paper also sent me these. Some green ones, yellow ones, and white ones, I believe is what I got. I love them so much that I did go and get some white ones to put in the shop. They are just so fun to play with. They come in the long strips is what they do. I don't know, let me grab one and show you. Oops, right here's one. They come in, a long strip is what they come in. And they're perforated so they tear off in threes. And anyway, so that's what I did. I used some of those and I actually tore them. So fun. And then of course this is another classic receipt. There, that pink guest check. This is one of the guest checks. I have some of these in the shop as well. They're just a striped guest check. They're really fun. I have coffee dyed this one. Did a little layer. Just used a little rusty pin there to put it back on the page. I made a little pocket with this little piece of that claim check. And these here I have used several times. I've got them at the antique shop. And I just love taking the detergent out of it and using the bag. So that was kind of fun. It looks like I have overlapped this one as well over the top of the, used a little washi. Just a little journaling spot. And I've just added it over the top of the page. And then here is another piece of that, or another stamp from that Stampin' Up! Collection. And I've just added a little piece of paper in there for journaling. And then here is one of the little library cards. And I've coffee stained this and then just stamped it as well. So anyway, that is that little journal. They can't be real thick because of fitting in the bags, but anyway, this little girl, I'm going to call her, I think I'm going to call her Cynthia, and that was how she will go in the Etsy shop, as Cynthia. And then this here is the second little bag journal, and it's going to measure just a little different. It is a 7, it's a little under a 1/4, just a hair under a 1/4 by 4. And a 1/4, so it's not too much different than the other. It's just a little hair, not as tall. Oh, I didn't think I had tied that up, but I did. Look there. So anyway, but this here, I think I've got a little tighter. I'm not going to be able to slip it off. But anyway, what it does is it just wraps around. And like I said, I've given plenty of sari silk to just kind of loosen it a little if you needed to. And so this is, the cover is just mainly just the paper, and then I've put that tea filter on there, and this is the same way. I just have the little journaling paper in there, and I'm not going to take this out. This is a seed packet. It's pretty much just like the other one. I've kept them basically the same here on the inside. Oops. There's the guest check, and there's the little, maybe the little collages are just a hair different, and maybe, the, like this was pink in the other one, and it's just the cream color. There's that classic receipt with the heart stamped on it, another collage. There's my little claims check and a little collage there on the bottom. This one here is a little different. I've added the little, stapled the little buttons on there. It's kind of cute. And oops, I forgot to put a little paper in the pocket there. And there's my little vintage packaging there. And there is the thing, and it, like I said, is pretty much like the other, but there is that. And we'll have Cynthia, and we will have we'll just call her Emily. So that's how they'll go into the Etsy shop. Now here is the Happy Mail that I kind of wanted to share, and there is a reason why I'm wanting to share it. This is one of the ladies over at Sophie's Notes, and thank you so much, Wendy. It's Winter Bird Boutique on Etsy, and of course she wrote me a nice little note about happy spring. And anyway, she had sent me some of these guest checks. I love altering these. These are so much fun. She had tried her hand at the blackberry dyeing, and she sent me some of her fabric that she had dyed in blackberries, which is so much fun. She also did some cheesecloth in the blackberry, and so I'm going to have fun with that. Hopefully I will be able to do a lavender journal, because I had actually done the red cabbage, and I have a lot of lavender color, so I know that I'm going to do a journal sometime with the lavender. But she sent me some vintage buttons, which I have a weakness for vintage buttons. I love vintage buttons. Some thread, and just some different little vintage things here. I really love, I really have a love for vintage. I just love it. Here's some little embroidery and crochet thread that's kind of fun. Some little vintage stamps, which I also love. They're darling. But this is mainly what I wanted to show you, because I know that she has a bunch of this in her shop. And she also, I just have to show you this little threads and things. These are so fun. So fun. I just love the labeling even. So I love that. And then she sent me another spool of that. This kind of like twine. But it's very vintage. So, but anyway, this is kind of what I wanted to show you, because I know in her shop she has lots of these doilies. So if you are in need of doilies, go help my friend Wendy out, because she has a bunch of these in her shop. And look at this. I love this. This is so fun. I love these doilies. And here's another fun doily here. Absolutely gorgeous. And anyway, she just filled me up on doilies. Look at this. There's a square one that's just beautiful. Here's kind of a thicker one here. So pretty. And then also she sent me some of these beautiful hankies. So beautiful. Looky there. So anyway, I was so surprised when I got this in the mail. I was just overjoyed. Look at that. Love this delicate little lace right here. Or embroidered linen there. Isn't that pretty? So anyway, guys, I just kind of wanted to do a quick share, because I know that she said that she had just tons of doily in her shop. And, I am always looking for vintage doilies and vintage hankies. I'm always on the look for them anytime I go out. That is really one of the things that I look for when I go to the thrift store or the antique shop. Or vintage trims as well. I love the tatting and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes they're just hard to find. And if you don't have a place that you can go for these vintage things like this, head over to Wendy. She has got tons. So anyway, guys, that's all I really wanted to share. I've got a couple of new journals in the making. I also have a bunch of new things in the shop. I did spent a few days last weekend or something putting some things in the shop. I'm just going to give you a sneak peek at my next projects. This is going to be a couple more bag journals. This is the Ciao Bella. I can't even remember the name of it, but I'll do it when I do a video on it. This here is also one of the bags. These are going to be a little bit bigger journals here, a little wider. So this will be fun. And I found these wonderful porcelain vintage buttons. I guess they're porcelain. I'm not sure, but they're almost like, they're not a plastic. I'm not sure what they are. They're very vintage though. And I've used them on both of these. They were just so beautiful. I told you I had something for vintage buttons. I love vintage buttons. And I've just did a lot of collaging with the laces and things, so I'm excited. I can't wait to get these done. I've got my grandbaby, and so no crafting this weekend or anything for this grandma, but anyway, I just wanted to do a share with you. So guys, I hope that you have a creative day and a creative weekend and week ahead. And just thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.